Another day, well, another 2 days really, of Africa Cup of Nations action has taken place. Lots of games going on, of course. Yesterday we spoke about Algeria. Great win, really good win. In fact, getting the 2-0 win in Mozambique. But there were some other games yesterday and today, of course, that we need to look back on. Gabon's brilliant win, beating Burundi away from home. That puts them on 2 wins out of 2. Another North African team winning away from home. Egypt beating Sierra Leone. I think that game may have even been in Liberia or something like that. But Sierra Leone ending the game on 9 players. Very controversial. Trezeguet had put Egypt ahead. And then Tyrese Fornah, who plays for Derby in England, got a yellow card. Changed to a red card. Not from VAR, but from pressure from the Egyptian players. I'm not sure how a referee can change his mind just based on the pressure from the players. It was certainly a red card, but I didn't like the way it came about. And then another North African win yesterday, as Sudan beat DR Congo, as they did in the home game in the AFCON qualifiers, have now done it in the World Cup qualifiers. DR Congo, they seem to take 1 step forward and then 2 steps backward. They changed some of the starting personnel. Banza came in, Diangana came in, didn't score. Sudan looking very good, gave a debut to Yusuf Ali. They've got the Issa brothers playing in England. 1-0 win for Sudan. I know they did have 2 home games. Yeah, obviously it's not actually being played in Sudan. Thoughts and prayers go out to people in Sudan suffering right now. But 2 wins in Libya. Well, not 2 wins. 2 games in Libya. A win and a draw. 4 points. They'll take that. That's pretty good going for Sudan. And it does more damage to DR Congo, who started off so strongly with the win against Mauritania. But they'll be disappointed to drop points. There's not really much room for error in the group with Senegal. And then today's action was interesting once again. Djibouti, although they lost at home to Guinea-Bissau, they'll be very, very happy with making it just 1-0. That game actually took place in the Cairo International Stadium in Egypt. A 1-0 win for Guinea-Bissau with 10 men. They'll take that. They'll be very pleased with the start they've had, Guinea-Bissau. They're chasing down Egypt. They've played 2 away games. They've won in Djibouti and they've drawn away to Burkina Faso. That's a fantastic start for Guinea-Bissau. Same can't be said for Gambia, who played in Tanzania, losing at home 2-0 to Ivory Coast. Disappointing for them, you know, no points from the opening 2 games, but for me, they've done more than very well to get to the Africa Cup of Nations twice in a row. Ivory Coast look very strong, but they're going to have some battle there with Gabon. Both those sides on 6 points. Kenya get their first win of the campaign, 5-0 away to Seychelles. Funnily enough, that game took place in Abidjan, a place they won't be playing in anytime soon because they didn't qualify for the AFCON. Olunga, of course, 2 goals in the opening 6 minutes and a very impressive performance from the Kenyans, who I felt should have done more and offered more in the first game against Burundi, and then they'd be sitting pretty on 6 points at the moment. But, you know, 5-0 win, Kenya back to playing competitive African football again. They'll not really have many complaints. Liberia, again, Kenneth from Shrewsbury Town in England sent off. Equatorial Guinea, once again, a 1-0 win thanks to that man, Emilio Nsue. Once of Middlesbrough, once of Birmingham, still popping up. It looks like Equatorial Guinea are going to be going to the wire with Tunisia here. Early days, but they were both in the AFCON qualifying group together. They're in Group H of the World Cup qualifiers, of course. Pressure on Tunisia now, because if they win tomorrow, both those teams will be on 6 points. When they play each other, it's going to be huge. From the last time out, Equatorial Guinea did beat Tunisia in Malabo. So that'll be interesting. Chad 0, Madagascar 3. Good performance from Madagascar. Solid win. Remember, they were so unlucky in the first game when Inaki Williams virtually scored with the last kick of the game to lose to Ghana. But this group is very interesting because Mali have just drawn 1-1 at home to Central African Republic. Dumbia put Mali ahead, and then Kondogbia from Marseille equalised. So Central African Republic get their first point after losing the first game in Comoros. They scored quite a few goals considering they had both games away from home. But this is an interestingly poised group now because Mali have dropped points shockingly, so they're on 4. You've got Comoros, Madagascar and Ghana on 3 and Central African Republic on 1. That last minute goal for Ghana at home to Madagascar was absolutely huge, but they've got such a lucky set of results there with Mali dropping points. Many have pipped Mali to finish above Ghana, but dropping points at home to the Central African Republic, that is awful. So going into the last game, or the last day of match day 2, things are being very interesting indeed. Lots of games to look forward to. In fact, 15. Look at this, 15. Wow. World Cup qualifiers from Africa tomorrow. Botswana, Guinea. Please, Botswana. Guinea jammed it last minute last time. I've got nothing against Guinea. I just need them to drop points. Good side. Hopefully Botswana do us a favour. Eswatini playing at Cape Verde. Ethiopia playing Burkina Faso, but that will be played in Morocco. Let's hope it wasn't as foggy in El Jadida as it was last time. Lesotho playing Benin in South Africa. Lesotho getting a point, remember, in Nigeria in the opening game, will fancy themselves. Malawi, Tunisia at 1 o'clock. Anything could happen in that game, genuinely anything. And Malawi did win their first game, let's not forget. So they could go 6 points out of 6. Tunisia dropped points in Malawi, dangerous. Very similar to what happened if Algeria would have dropped points in Mozambique. But thankfully, alhamdulillah, we didn't. That's a really good game between Malawi and Tunisia. What an opportunity for Rwanda to get a real foot in this group, because Nigeria drew the first 2 games. Rwanda got a point in the first game. Rwanda now playing South Africa. But if South Africa win this away game in Rwanda, they'll be on 6 points. They'll be 4 points ahead of Nigeria after 2 games. That would be a real blow for the Nigerians. They're desperate for Rwanda to do them a favour. But it'd be nice to see Bafana at the World Cup once again. Of course, Somalia, Uganda in Morocco in Algeria's group. Best of luck to Somalia once again. They were fantastic. We're going to find out a little bit more about Somalia and see if Algeria were poor or if Somalia genuinely have a great future. This Comoros-Ghana game is absolutely huge. Remember, if Comoros win, they'll be on 6 points. They'll go top of the group in a group with Mali and Ghana. And of course, remember that famous AFCON final group game where Comoros beat Ghana 3-2 to make Ghana finish bottom. Can Ghana get their revenge? Libya taking on Cameroon. A Cameroon side with Onana injured. He may even well miss the Africa Cup of Nations unless they're overplaying this injury. Onana is injured for Cameroon. That's a huge blow and a massive plus for Libya, who won their opening game. Mauritius, Angola. Angola should have no problems there, really. Sao Tome and Principe against Namibia in Morocco. Literally could go either way. South Sudan against Mauritania. That'll be an interesting game as well. Of course, both those teams came out the opening game with no points. Togo, Senegal, that'll be a good test for Senegal as an Algerian officiating that game. Togo did get a point in their opening game, but DR Congo will be hoping that Togo and Senegal draw that game. Niger, Zambia. Zambia won the first game. They'll be looking to win this game. This is in Morocco's group. Ironically, this game is actually in Marrakesh as well. Zambia could go to 6 points with a convincing win. They should away to Niger. And finally, the final game is the first time we're going to see Morocco in action, the World Cup semi-finalists. They're playing Tanzania in Dar es Salaam. And of course, Tanzania, last time out against North African opposition, drew 0-0 against Algeria. Morocco need to get some points on the board. It's not their fault they haven't played yet. It was Eritrea's for pulling out. But Zambia and Tanzania already on 3 points. Zambia you expect to go to 6 with a win against Niger. Tanzania, with lots to play for, with Samatta up top, will be hoping to cause a big upset against Morocco. Morocco need to win this game, and they probably should win this game, and I think they will. So, final day. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.